don't get it twisted. I'll put my throat out talking without a mic. I know y'all can hear me. I ain't gonna ask. Hi, y'all.
Hi.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry. We all got up, put on the left shoe, the right shoe, or the right shoe, the left shoe. We all taking in breath right now, whether it's 20 of us or 500 of us. I'm gonna try to get, hi, y'all.
Hey.
Hey, beautiful. I like it. Oh, my goodness. So let me tell you a couple things. This receipt here is my evidence that my entire package of what I thought I had something from my repertoire of things that are good messages that I've been blessed to deliver before. And God said, nope. From the time I hit the door, I was like, no, I got that. And he was like, no. I said, oh, maybe he meant no to 1 and 2. I'll just do 3 and 4. And then I heard no again. So then I went around. I was like, let me say hi to everybody. And as I met people and started talking to different people, I kept hearing no. And I was like, okay, but that ain't funny, Daddy. Hold up. What's the plan? Like, we speak. We supposed to speak with a plan. And he was like, not today. So I was like, okay, well, wait. And as I'm walking through and I'm meeting different people and we're exchanging conversation a little bit, I'm hearing these different stories, these different testimonies of my own walk come to me. And I was like, yeah, but Lynn didn't say that. And then I could hear, yeah, but Lynn didn't tell you exactly what I said for you to do either. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't hear what Lynn wanted me to talk about. And I could hear, well, we just want you to share. But she don't know me for real to know what to share. And he said, I said to wait. And I was like, okay, but that wasn't me. Maybe it was something else. I went and bought me some paparazzi, and then I went upstairs, talked to the DJ. I saw some girls getting glammed up. I saw the 66 Queen doing her thing. And I literally was hearing him, yep, take that piece. That's you too. And he let me see my own self in everybody that I met my first hour here. And he literally said, now tell the truth. So, excuse me, because it's hitting hard.
It's all right.
It's hitting hard. And not that I would lie, because I'm going to tell you this. For me as a personality, LaShawn, one of the things that I learned very young was the greatest defense that I had as a young girl was to be transparent. So I was the one who you could have played the dozens with, you could tell jokes, and you could be like, say something about her voice. It didn't hurt, because I had jokes about my deep voice myself. So you come with your best punch. Now when I start talking about the kicks you got on and what your mama had on yesterday in the parking lot, now your feelings is hurt. But that was my strategy as a kid to protect myself, because I was accustomed to having people attack me in different ways. And children learn what their defense mechanism is or not. And they find ways to survive or not within their own defense mechanisms. Well, when you have those things built up and they build character, especially if you're somebody who is an extrovert and who is comfortable in their skin, sometimes it makes the wall that you create so thick you seem almost unpunishable, like where nothing will come through, which is false. There's no way. God made us flesh that have a spirit that's housed inside, that's connected to him. And because he is know all, do all, and is all, there's no way for the creator who created everything from the first speck of air to our entire universe for him to be embodied in me and it not affect me when things happen to my spirit. Make sense? So I had to start being real with LaShawn, who she really was, what areas really had some hard times and where she needed to do some healing. And I literally, as I met different people, he was showing me different areas that I was healed in already. Oh, you got that, you've been there. Oh, you've been there too. I was like, ooh. So, I kept hearing through this walk was your passion versus purpose. Now I have a lesson that's all about passion and purpose, and it breaks down the definition of passion. We all passionate about a lot of things. I could be passionate about I'm passionate about this new Movado my man bought me. Hallelujah. But I could be just as passionate about the makeup aisle in Target, right? I could be passionate about creating oil paintings or clay. I love art. I could be passionate about those things. But do they define my purpose?
Right.
See, and sometimes what happens is, while we're excited and we're told to follow our dreams, we get our purpose confused and we push it in the back while our passion is in front and it is showing out. And guess what happens to the passion? As things in the world in your walk are exposed and you get hit a couple times, you change your passion to this. Well, I ain't tripping. I really didn't like light-skinned boys anyway. Now you're over here with all the chocolates. Not even judging character, his walk with God, if he know God, if he know you, right? And now we become passionate about something that didn't have anything lined up with our purpose. So what happens? How do we get from childhood into adulthood and walking day to day without true understanding of what our purpose is if we have had hardships during our passion walk? What do we do to heal him or her? And men go through it like women do. Let's demystify this thing. God did not create you to be able to embody everything emotionally as though you were a rock. That's called stress. It gives you all kinds of problems. Young men, do not be mad. If you get upset about something and someone is there to support you, do not push them away. You're gonna want a woman one day to have your back. My husband have cried. I've only been married 1 year, and I've seen that man cry more than the times of fingers I have. And he's the strongest brother I've ever met in my life. But what he's not afraid of is the things that he's passionate about that are hindering his purpose being clear, or his walk with God, or what he's doing with his family and for his kids. He's not afraid to have feelings in front of me. So that just hit me right now for boys, because I know we don't have that many of them. But a chick who say, you ain't nothing, for real, you got feelings? She wants you to go upside her head, or she wants you to have that tear and hold her. Boo, I'll take that hold all day. So, let me get back on track, I'm sorry. And I'm a teacher, so what happens is my brain is like, I know how old he is, I know what he's going through, let me tell him. So, forgive me if I'm off track a little bit. So, passion and purpose, how do we line it up? I'll tell you a little story. I told the DJ this, she shared with me what she went through, some physical challenges. And I'm like, wow. So usually I tell this story and it's under passion and purpose, but it's about my mom's walk. See, what we forget sometimes is that in our walk, we are not just a representation of ourselves. We're a representation of the legacy that was before us, and we represent what the future holds for our next generations, right? You literally are in the middle of, you're not the end and you're not the beginning. You're in the middle of the chain. All of us are. So we have a role to play to be able to take information from the past to decide what to do with it and to take it into our future, right? To send the information down the line, whether it's through nieces and nephews, cousins, the children that you birth, the people that you love, your friends, all of the people that you're connected to are a part of that walk, right? So my mom is the oldest of 5, and she had a hard time, let's just say, I'll just make it this short. But she went through a chapter where she was young, she got married, she had kids, she had 1 child, then had a 2nd child. She gets a call, and I shared a little bit of this with the DJ. She gets a call from the school saying that her baby was in an accident. Her 3-year-old was in an accident. There was an accident at school, your baby's being rushed to the emergency room. She gets to the emergency room. When she walks in, her baby is laying on the table. Her hair has been shaved. Her hair was, I guess, close to her waist. So for an African-American family, we kind of pride the things that people have bashed us about, right? You guys know that we get bashed about our shade of color, our grade of hair. I don't know where that came from, but it's real, right? And so she thought that it was her fault. She thought that this baby was the purpose for this baby's life was being cut short because she had honored this baby in a way by glorifying the baby's hair and how beautiful the baby was. Really what she was doing was she was validating herself that she was beautiful, even though she had been told that she was ugly for so many years, but because she had a baby that the world viewed as beautiful, she was able to reaffirm herself and say she was beautiful. So what happens is, now her passion and purpose is being changed because she's trying to find a way to heal, but she doesn't know that in her passion walk, her purpose is being put behind her because people have attacked her passion and she hasn't been able to pull her purpose to the front. Am I losing y'all or y'all with me? Okay? So while this is happening, she's at the hospital and she is freaking out. They're telling her, I'm so sorry, the accident, the blow to the head has left your baby with brain damage. This baby is not due to wake up, and if the baby wakes up, the baby will be a vegetable. So here she is, she's a mother of 2, she's only been married for about 2.5 years. At this mark, she's only about 20 because she got married at 17. Her husband is in the Navy, and she's freaking out. Her mother-in-law is local, and she comes and she greets her at the hospital. They talk about it. They're trying to get the father back in town and everything, and she's freaking out. Basically, she's being told her baby's about to die. So now she's having this conversation, day 1, day 2, day 3. About day 4, she's at the hospital and the doctors tell her you need to make this important decision. We're gonna need to plan out when we pull the plug on this baby. And she's freaked. Why would you do this, God? What have I done wrong? And so now she's in the bathroom and she's crying and she's praying and she's asking God, what do I do? What did I do wrong to deserve that my walk is being altered by being a mom and gonna lose my baby at this young age? And I'm not gonna go too deep because I know I'm touching spirits right now, okay? So she prayed. And in her prayer, she's sitting in a stall. And just like the movies would have us believe it never happens, but I truly believe that movies come from people's imagination and memories from real things that have happened. Not everybody wants to be in the forefront and step up and say, that happened to me, because they don't want the ridicule. So we call it creative. And we put it in the director's hands and they make it become visual for somebody else to enjoy in the movies. But we know there is a spiritual realm that's real. So my mother's in the stall and she's crying and she's praying and she's apologizing to God. She has blamed herself. Because in her passion walk, people have told her, you are not worthy, you cannot, all these knots, all right, and negative things. So she is apologizing. I'm so sorry, God, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I loved her too much. Maybe I did this and this and that. You would take her from me. And she said the stall door turns white, like the brightest light she had ever seen. And as this experience has happened, she is thinking in disbelief that she is tripping out. And she's crying and praying, and she closes her eyes and opens them again, and it is still bright white. And she hears a firm voice ask her, do you want your baby back? She starts screaming profusely, yes, God, please give me my baby back. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I know I did wrong. I shouldn't have loved her like that. Could you imagine? Who's a mama in here? Could you imagine feeling like you had to tell God, I'm sorry, I love that baby too much? Do you know what type of damage must be done in your passion walk to make you feel that the love you extended to a child was too much? She's apologizing and apologizing, and she hears with a firm voice, do you want your baby back? And she said, yes, God, I'll do anything. Tell me what to do. And she said the light went away, and she heard clear as day, cancel your appointment. Now, I don't know what that means to y'all, but in this day and time, I'm looking at my phone like, woo, I got all kind of money about to drop. I'm about to call everybody. Sorry, I can't come. Nobody ain't speaking there. I ain't talking to y'all. Tell your kids I'm my bad. Know your wedding, I ain't there. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm canceling everything moving. What if this is not that day and age? She's freaking out trying to figure out what in the world and who I'm about to run to call from this payphone. I don't have an appointment, Lord. What was it? What did I do wrong? And she's thinking about it. And while she's sitting in that stall, she hears clear as day. You have an appointment here. And she stands and she looks around in the stall and she remembers she had set an appointment to have her tubes tied. See, they had 2 babies and she thought she was done. And they were young and he was in the military. And she was tired of having to wait. And she knew that they had years more of this waiting process. She runs across the hospital to the department where her appointment is. And she's just completely freaking out. I have an appointment. My baby's about to die if I don't cancel this appointment. They're like, ma'am, stop. What's going on? What's happening? I have to stop this appointment. She cancels the appointment. She goes back. She prays at the baby's side. Now she's feeling still guilty about all of these different things, trying to figure out what else could it be that she needs to cancel. Within a few hours, the baby's vitals come back in. The baby starts breathing properly. The waves for the baby's brain start acting properly. This baby is 3 years old. They tell her, ma'am, this is a miracle. We've never seen it like this, but the baby's still going to be a vegetable. Well, within a couple of days, the baby comes out of the coma that the baby was in. Not only did the baby recover, they put the baby on medication because the baby was due to have seizures for the rest of the baby's life. She was able to take her baby off of the medicine that had her sitting and drooling and not being able to function for about 6 months. And not only was she able to cultivate that baby into that baby becoming a young child and an older child, she had 2 more kids after that. See, so her passion wave that she had been beaten up on, God said, I wasn't finished with your purpose. There's some other legacy that had to come through you. Now, I'm going to move this fast forward real quick because usually the other lesson goes this way. But I'm just going to do y'all real quick. Because this baby, boo, she got on a skirt from Hawaii for you. She feeling herself on your runway. And she is blessed up to be here and to talk to y'all. But to say, baby, I know who I am. And I know that my passion and my purpose do not define me. The walk of having somebody tell me that I'm not or I can't do have nothing to do with what God said I am and who I'm supposed to be. Those who have been here, who have been through those hands being put on you, and they were told there was love, been there. I remember those chapters. Matter of fact, She's 21 years old, and she was my purpose for leaving. But my passion made me stay with that dude just a little bit longer. I didn't know. God said, okay, you ain't listening to me? I done told you. I done put you in a church where the pastor called out, there's a young lady in here with a baby that's about 6 months old who was with a man who was bad for her, and the blood of Jesus is telling me she need to run. I was looking around like, your mama's a snitch. Your mama told on me. I have had times where God, I mean, blatantly just slapped me. Bah! Told all your business. Put you on Front Street. Cool. You ain't afraid? Could you tell it? Let me tell everybody. Whoop. And I was like, what? That ain't funny. But see, when it comes down to your purpose, he will rock what you think is your world to wake you up. Because he has work for you to do. And you don't know what all of it is while you are continuously chasing your passion. There's nothing wrong about having passion as long as you line it up with that purpose. And you can be as passionate as you want to about your purpose. So my purpose, not only is it to be able to pour into people that I come encounter with, that I teach in the classroom. I've been an educator for 20 years. I teach business program with my young adult, my 21-year-old, which trips me out daily, who is an entrepreneur and a CEO. She started her own company at 16 years old. But she stopped me and reminded me, Mom, you said you wanted to get out that classroom. You're still out in the classroom. And every time I give a testimony about why my company is flourishing, it's because of you. And they want to meet you. When are you coming, teacher? So you have to remember there are things that you will become passionate about and just get a little bit off track. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy of the purpose, but just make sure you keep realigning that passion and that purpose right back up to what it's supposed to be. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get attacked. Know that. I talked to somebody about birthing new things. See, it's just not labor pains that we feel when it comes down to birthing babies. When God is using you and he wants something to come through you, I'm sorry, I might have got lipstick on your mic. When he wants something to come through you, it's going to be uncomfortable. Because in order to get somewhere you ain't never been, you're going to have to go through something that you ain't never seen. Right? So while you're doing that, be encouraged. Make sure that you pick people around you who support encouraging you. If we all kick it, and all I am doing is pouring knowledge of purpose and excitement into them, and they don't have any to give me, that means that they are eating and I am not. Now, it's a nice way to get skinny, but it ain't happening in the flesh. I sure ain't gonna let it happen in the spirit, right? So you make sure that you wrap yourself with people who say, you the bomb. No, you the bomb. No, you the bomb. Okay, tell me, boo. You the bomb. No, you the bomb. No, you the beautiful bomb. And now we the bomb beautiful together. You feel me? You make sure, because what they're going to do is this. While I'm encouraging her, can I hold your hand? I always ask permission. I love that little cute little apple belly you got. That's too cute. That's too cute. So watch this. Her hand is warm. Dang. Okay. So what happened? My brain was like, cuddle. Look, that's what my daughter does. She'll be like, Mommy, that's cuddle. Anybody wants? She's like, oh my God, hug them. It's a cuddle. So I'm sorry. I told you I was silly. So watch this. While we are encouraging each other and living out our best lives, watch this. When I try to pull your hand, when you try to pull your hand, I'm not going to let you go, okay? So I want you to try to pull from me. Ask me why I'm not letting you go. You ain't pulling no more, but pull. Ask me why. Because you're beautiful and you have a purpose. Pull. Ask me. Because you're beautiful and you have a purpose. Now, does this pull hurt? A little bit. But if I let go, which one you think gonna hurt worse? That's right. So you make sure you wrap yourself, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. So you make sure you wrap yourself around people, company that will uplift you, that'll make sure that when you pull, because you will, we get passionate about certain things and we start losing our focus on our purpose. You make sure that there are people who will mentally and emotionally give you that pull so that you desire to kick it with them, desire to check in with them, desire to see how they're doing. They desire back to see how you're doing. You make sure that when the food table is being prepared of purpose-driven activities, if you're a dreamer, I'm a dreamer, you want to do hair, I'm going to tell you about all the hair stuff I see, right? I'm not going to tell you, girl, that is stupid. You ain't even going to make no money. She in your way, okay? Make sure that you continuously do that. Ladies, those of you who have been through challenges, I know hands on how hard it is to leave the one that is addiction for you alone. I know what kryptonite look like. I can tell y'all, right? Big brown eyes, about 6'8". Jesus had freckles, about 280. Whew. I know what kryptonite is for me, but I had to learn me enough to say that is not lined up with my purpose. So how did that become what can break me down? So you need to make sure that the only thing that can take you off track is when God gives you another track to get on. Because we have a tendency to pick our own lane. You just make sure that you have been affirmed this way. You make sure that where you're going, your longevity is based on your latitude, how you've been aligned with God. And I promise you, it will keep moving. And if you're unsure, try now. You holler, oh, he holler back real good. So I thank y'all for giving me your time today, and I thank you for inviting me.